is also failure to a great extent. You don't have to fail to experience failure. I think entrepreneurship is all about perception management, and as entrepreneurs, we all need to be very good HR managers. In the coming times, the challenge is not going to be of the money flow. The challenge is going to be of the talent flow. Every invested company or every investor wants the right team to be in place. The best form of investments is internal accruals. If there are fantastic internal accruals, then you can look out for growth funding. Unfortunately, what happens is a lot of startups look out for shareholders' money to experiment their thoughts. Many a times they go right, sometimes they fail. As investors, what we do is we invest in growth companies. We invest as a growth fund. We are growth investors. So the basics are there in place. The company is already making profits, and now we want to magnify the speed of growth. That's where we come in. So like we invested in Patil Kaki, thanks to Mr. Anil Goyal, thanks to CapSavvy, thanks to Namrata, that they introduced us the company. And like they say in personal life, love happens at the first sight. So for us, whenever I invest it either in the first meeting or I don't invest. It has to be a decisive meeting in the first meeting itself. So when Patil Kaki met us through CapSavvy, they had already done some 70-80 pitches. And in the first meeting itself, we froze on the valuation and froze on the money committed and transferred the money. Unfortunately, in the investment economy currently that India is witnessing on a grand scale, discussing about the investment and doing the actual investment has got a lot of gestation period. In fact, the entrepreneurs lose a lot of opportunities waiting for the investments to come through. So it is the speed of investment also that matters. What is most difficult in this business is perception management. What you perceive the opportunity to be and what the reality is. The success of your decision depends on how much gap these two things are having, like the perception and the actual capability of the company or the entrepreneur. So it's critically important. So what as investors we need to extend other than the invested money is leadership and relationships for growth. And we need to coach the entrepreneurs on how they can grab onto those relationships, take more knowledge and information of how to grow faster, and then run with the speed. The dark side of my kind of investment is I am a speed guy. I love to do, for me, day before yesterday is late. So lots of time my perception about the entrepreneurs go a little haywire when they can't match up to the speed. So we have invested in a couple of companies, and the problem that I am facing is the pace of the entrepreneur. Rather than that being more than our speed, it is much slower and we struggle in doing that. So that I see as a dark side, and that's what we work on with every investment that we have done. I think these are glorious times. 4 trillion is what we have touched. The next 1 trillion is not going to take much time, and the next 1 trillion is going to come purely on the speed of the investments that's happening in startups and companies wanting growth fund and going for the IPO route. So I think India is going to see some glorious years in the next 1 decade in terms of valuation of the invested companies and in terms of the valuation of the country going up, and we all riding the growth wave. So it's a good time that's coming.